Hi everybody, it's Marianne from Marianne's Bakery. So this is what we're working on, all right? Whether you've bought a kit with me, it doesn't matter what this says. The way to do it is all the same. So then what we did first was we went ahead and we sanded, we painted it. You might decide to do 1 or 2 coats, depending on how you like it. Then you're going to let it dry, and then we're going to sand it. And then we're going to rub all the dust off. And then we're going to grab our stencil, okay? And our stencil is going to fit on there nicely. And then I go turn it over and I pull the back. Now, this is probably the part that everybody detests. But if you just hold your stencil down flat, you see that? And take your time. You're going to find, now see how the little L came up? All I'm going to do is push it back down and start over again. Your fingers stick to it pretty good. And then we're just going to keep going until we get it all off. Okay? Alrighty. And then I just get rid of that. Now I've got my board all ready to go. And then I'm going to just kind of, this sticks really, really well. So I just want to make sure that I've centered it pretty well. Does it look like it's going to be okay? Yep. And then I just put it on here. Now, most of the time, the transfer tape will be in one piece. But I had some extra little pieces laying around, so I just used it. So next we're going to do is we're going to take off. I just kind of make sure that these letters are going to stay there. All right? You don't have to use a big fancy tool to get it all down, because the harder it's on there, then the more difficult it's going to be to get off, right? And I'm just going to continue on. Use my little tool here. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off, this one here, and then the last one. Excuse me. And then it's ready to paint. Now, alrighty. Now you can use anything to put your paint on, all right? You can use a piece of tin foil, and you can use a piece of, what do you call it? The paper you use for baking. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, you could use that, or anything, okay? So what I want to do here is I want to, I just have to grab a plate here. I should have had one. I'm going to just use one of these. I'm just going to use one of these. All right, so we got our stuff here. And I'm going to this isn't what I wanted. What did I do with it? Okay, well, we'll use this one. See how it goes. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my black paint. So, we're going to go ahead and do this. And I've got all my little sponges here. I save mine. You don't have to. I like to be able to use them up. So we're going to do hello in black. So you're going to dip your paint into your, onto your sponge. All right, put this underneath here. Oh yeah, I got myself covered already. And then you're going to go like this. Can you see that okay? And then I'm going to go here. And I'm going to work that paint into my sponge. I got that one pretty close, eh? Oh well. So then I'm going to just put a light coat, and I'm not pressing hard. I'm trying not to go into the leaves. If you're a little bit worried about going into a different area, just use some green tape, masking tape or something like that. Same up on the top. If you're worried about going off the top, then just go ahead and put some masking tape up here so you don't have to worry about it, okay? But we're not going to worry about it today. And then, so this is how I do all my signs, all right? Just so you know. So then I'm going to start over because it's dry. Like, see, there's nothing came off on my hands. So now I can go back and I can do another layer. Like that, all right? Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to decide now if you look at your sponge and there's nothing shiny anymore, that means that your paint has gone down into your sponge. So that's what you want, all right? Now, I find this really relaxing. I try never to do this when I have to rush, because then I press too hard and then I have a mess. So, okay. So I'm just going to leave him there, all right? Now, I think I'm going to do kind of a gold color. And a teal color. And what else shall I do? Oh, maybe I should do a wine color. Like those. And then maybe a rusty color. How's that? Okay. So let's decide. Okay, I think I'm going to do... Okay, so I'm going to do rust, turquoise, mustard, and then purple, or whatever you want to call that color. I always shake up my... This is all chalk paint that I'm using today. I don't always use chalk paint. But I had these gorgeous colors in my chalk paint, and I thought, I think I would really like to do these. So I'm going to just do it from the lid. And I'm just going to go in here. Do a little extra. There we go. And cover that up. I don't like to leave my paints open. I just find that it's giving it too much chance to dry out. Okay, so now see I'm doing the same thing again. And see nothing's shiny. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to do fall. Now most of the time, it's going to take more than one coat. All right, so don't be upset if it doesn't cover the first time. And I'm trying to do my lighter colors first, so that if I do get any paint over top of another leaf, it'll be with a darker color and I don't have to worry about it covering. How's that sound? Okay. Now you could have left the middle of this lighter. These are your creations, and you want to make them your own. And all of us have different things that we like. Some of the kits I do, depending on what the project is, I only put in primary colors and a mixing chart. so that you can make different colors yourself. The kids love it. Oddly enough, I find that the adults like it less. Maybe because we're older and we don't want to have to experiment. That could be, right? Okay. So see how little paint that took? And I think that's important for people to know, is it doesn't take a lot of paint to do something. Oh, I want to do the light color. See, I said it and then I forgot it. My goodness. Okay. I know my tablecloth is a little bit wild, but it's the one I have. Okay. So I'm going to get some yellow. And that's going to go on our first L. Okay. And I'm pressing pretty hard to get that in there. Okay. And then we're going to do our first L. And I'm just being a little bit careful around the areas where, like right here, it goes up by the L in the hello. So I just want to make sure that I'm being a little bit careful there. I don't think I got it on. Maybe I did. I have to go over the O with black again. And you see I got into that other one. And you're going to see that different colors cover differently. And that's okay. I don't know why, but it's just that way. Kind of like this song. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Now, I wanted to do the fall colors. You could do this all in black and white. It would be beautiful. You can pick your own colors. And the thing to remember is you don't have to have special paints to do this. Just ordinary acrylic paints are fine. Alright, it's just I have these colors in my chalk paint, so I'm using them. But see, it doesn't take a lot of paint. Okay, I'm going to go back and do my O again, because I know I got it in the O. There you go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the teal. And anytime you have a question, please feel free to send me a message, and I would be more than happy to answer your questions. How's that? Alrighty, we're going to use I love this turquoise. Oh my god. Isn't it a great color? This color, I'm going to show you my age now. This color was really popular when I was in school, in high school, just a few years ago, right? Oh, it seems like just a few years ago. I'm telling you. My granny used to say how quick the time went when I was young. And I should say to her, Granny, it just drags. And she says, you wait. You'll change your mind. Well, as usual, Granny was right. It seems like the first day of the month, and then all of a sudden, it's the last day. And it's like, where the heck did that, I just don't know where that month went. And most of them are like that. So you see, what happens is most of the time, if you're putting it on lightly, by the time you get the shape covered, it's dry. And then you can quickly go over with your second coat. Now, if I was doing this all black, I would do the whole thing black, and then I would go back where I started, and I would start over again. But because we're doing this in different colors, and it's drying, like this is dry. Okay. Now, and this is another color that was very popular when I was in high school, just a few years ago. It's kind of a plum. Okay. And I love it. Everybody see okay? Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. I used to have a skirt this color. I loved it. Okay, so it kind of looks like it's dry. All right. And now we're going to do our last one. And these are such pretty autumn colors. Remember, we're getting all our paint into our sponges. Now, if you were doing a great big sign, what I have done, like say I was doing a big sign in black and white, I have found myself using a roller. But you have to be so careful using a roller, because it's really easy to get too much paint and or press way too hard. So it's not something I do very often. I've done a couple of signs, like they were like 3 feet by 4 feet. And I did use a roller on them. But I was like, the whole time I was doing it, I kept saying, okay, don't press so hard. Don't press so hard. Because you really don't want to have to sand it back and start all over again. Now, some of these leaves are darker in places and lighter in places. And some of the times that has to do with your wood. Because your wood will have a harder grain and a softer grain and that kind of stuff. So, please don't think that it's something you've done wrong. I'm just going to get rid of this before I have it all over the place. Okay, so looks like it's good. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're going to take it off. And I kind of wiggle mine. There you go, like that. I'm really liking this. I love the different colors. I keep my garbage handy, because if I don't, I'll end up in trouble. So now I have a little, it's like a dental instrument that I use. But when you order a kit, you'll get a pin, okay? So you get everything you need. You get the paint, color, you get the sponges to paint with. If you need a brush, I'll send a brush. Yeah. So what I do is I try not to go to the edge and do it. I try to go inside the little part that's got to come off and just kind of lift it from inside that. That way, I'm not, hopefully, digging into the wood. This one's going to be a witch to get off. Oh, there you go. And then the ones right here. And sometimes I have to tilt my board to see where they are, especially when it's black, because I'm using black vinyl. So it's a little bit harder to see. And now we're going to Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So kind of just tuck into the vinyl. There you go. And there is your sign. All done. Isn't it gorgeous? So, what I want you to know is you can leave it like this, or you can clear coat it with a spray or something like that, or the clear urethane. Just make sure it says non-yellowing. Then you will get a sawtooth hanger with it. So every sign, I won't attach it. I'll leave it for you, but you'll get your little sawtooth hanger that goes on the back like this. And there's 2 little nails. Okay, so you'll also get that to go with it. All right. But I don't attach them because some people don't want them. But I do want to include them just in case you do want them. Okay. Excuse me. So, very first thing, we paint or stain our sign. We let it dry. Then we sand it to make sure that it's smooth so it'll take the stencil nicely. Then with our stencil, we take off the backing. We place it on the stencil, on the board. Then we take off the top layer, which is the transfer tape. And then we get out our sponges and we start to sponge. Remember that we want to be pressing our sponge down in so it doesn't look like it's glossy, to make sure the paint is in the sponge. And it could take, depending on the color, it could take 2 or 3 coats most of the time. But you have to make sure that you're not pressing too hard. That's the main thing. Okay? If you have any questions, please send me a message. And happy painting. Thanks, guys.